Hi everybody, my name is Jan Dufour and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live just outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Today we're going to make a special card because I've made it for a friend of mine, but this can be used for all kinds of things. The pattern can be altered, as you can see the simplified version here and a little bit fancier here. I'm using Comforting Thoughts as the stamp set. It's an online exclusive. It has awesome greetings, some for the inside, some for the outside. I'm using the one that says, hope this is a feeling better kind of day because cancer sucks. I love that. I think it'll give her a laugh. All right, so let's get down to business. First of all, if you're on YouTube and you are following me there, please subscribe. I only post once a week, unless there's a flash sale, and then I let you know. My website to get the project sheet for this and other goodies is stampmesilly.com. If you have any questions or you'd like a free catalog, which is coming out in May, is jandufour@yahoo.com. If you'd like to purchase anything, you can do so by going to my online store at jandufour.stampinup.net. Okay, so first we're going to start with cutting our cardstock, which I've done ahead of time just to save a little bit of viewing time for you. The measurements are the same until we get to the small piece. So we have an A2 card, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, or because this is a top folding card, it's a 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5. You can do it either way. Your first layer is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And if you go to my website, stampmesilly.com, and go to free stuff, you will find a list of different things that I've created for you. And one of them is our layers, cards and envelope size. I think it's the last thing on that page. And it tells you first layer, half layer, first layer, 1.5, 2.5. There's a typo there. It's 2.5 layers and 3. I haven't corrected it yet, but it still works. Okay. So first layer. The second layer, this is Night of Navy. The second layer is at 3 3/4 by 5. And then the DSP that you cut, regardless of whether you're doing this one or this one, is 3 1/4 by 4.5. And then if you're just doing this one, you can just leave that be. You'll notice that there's more border around here, and that was to give space for the spacing in between here. You can always follow the guideline and make that one a little bit larger if you like. This is a great scrap busting thing because you're using such little pieces. I have 3 here. I've already used up the 4th one over here. But if you cut these down, you can start flipping them and using different combinations, or just use 2. One here, and then alternate this way, this way, for just 2 different colors of paper. But what you're going to need to do is to cut these down, you need to have it actually, 4 1/4. So you've taken off 1/4 of an inch by 3. No, I lied. Yeah, no, by 3 1/4. So let me say that again so it's more coherent. It's 3 by 4 1/4. And that will get you, I made a mistake again. Don't you love it? Again, I've told you people before, I do not refilm. My apologies. If you want to cut this down, it needs to be 3 by 4 1/4. And that way you can cut down your little pieces, which I have right here. And those pieces end up being a 2 1/8 by 1.5. Now, if you don't want to start with the larger piece and just go cut a bunch of scraps and start playing and see which ones you like better. So I have been checking out different products. As you know, our Stamparatus, our beloved Stamparatus, is no longer available. And so we've looked for alternate ways to get the same job done. If you go to my hack on my website, I show you how to make a miniature stamparatus. I call it Jan's Stamp Positioner. There is no copyright on this, so have at it. You just have to buy a set of cases, which I use cases for a lot of other things too, and then a little bit of magnet and some cardboard. So that makes this. And it works really quite well. Not particularly for this project because we're looking for measurements here. So I've been looking at other products where you can purchase these on Etsy. I am not going to put a link on there because I have two different sets of these and I'm not overly impressed with either one of them. And that may just be the way I want to use it. For example, and this is true of both sets, so I imagine it is for many. As you can see, these are pretty flexible, which is not what you want when you're trying to get an angle. It shouldn't be allowed to go up and down. So I'm right now not a fan. Someday I may be. I did this one with those, and I don't think it's any better than the one I eyeballed. It's not the same color, but I eyeballed this one. Okay, enough of my tips and tricks, if you will. So let's go ahead and make this card. We start with putting the first layer on. And again, this is first layer if you're looking at the different, or the freebie that I gave you that tells you how big to make. See, I love glue because you can move it. Just a little bit. All right, because you can cut them up in different sizes. And the liquid glue is awesome because you can move it if you don't put it where you want it, which may happen more as we get to the little pieces. All right, so here's the two layers. And let's see, 3 1/4. Yeah, so this is layer 1 and layer 2 if you look at that, and that is a pretty card. If you wanted to take the next layer that I told you to cut, which was 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, you could just place that down and go ahead and finish up this one. I decided that I wanted to show you how to do this one, even though sometimes it's a little bit awkward, but that's okay. So you would want to cut this down to 4 1/4 by 3, which is 1/4 of an inch shorter and 1/4 of an inch less wide. I've already done that, so I have them here. One of the fun things is you can play around. This one's really dark. It's as dark as that, so it's probably not a good idea to do both of them. This is also dark. I would go for trying to alternate light, dark. Let's do this. And light and dark, just to give it a little bit of balance. So this one's a little bit different than the one here. I want the little rabbit to show. And again, we don't necessarily have to put the exact same sentiments because there's lots of other ones on here. I can just show you real quickly. I don't have all the right words to say. I do have lots of love to give. So that's a great combination there. Wishing you comfort, healing, peace, rest, a nice little thing that you can put down, you know, make your cardstock a little bit, or your DSP a little bit short, and just have that go across the bottom. Thinking of you, praying for you, and hoping with you. All great sentiments. And of course, there's a lot of other ones on there as well. All right, so we are going to eyeball this. Isn't this going to be fun on recorded tape? Because like I said, I don't retape. So if I do it, I do it. It's going to be something like that. So I'm going to start off. This is another good light side. And put that, and it's about 1/4 of an inch on each side, and it does make the inside a little bit more narrow. And if that bothers you, then you can recalculate what it is that you want to have to make it more even. With 4 pieces, it's not harder. It just, you have to do math, and not everybody loves math. I do, but that doesn't mean you do. All right, so here we go. I think I'm doing fine with the eyeballing. And I have no need for that much glue, but there you have it. So we'll put that one right here. That looks pretty even. One of the nice things is when you make the center like this, kind of takes away from the bluntness of if you have any areas that are not quite equal. Scoot that down just a little. Pull it over. I'm good with that. There we go. All right. Now, you need some white cardstock scraps. And need one of them. I said, hope you're feeling better kind of day. I still, because that's a good general get well card kind of thing without it being specific to cancer, obviously. So we're going to do that. And you cut it out with one of the online exclusives, which is the 1 3/4 inch punch. We used to have it, and then they took it away, and then they gave it back to us. So there we go. Kind of center that, pop it out, put this away. Now, because I don't necessarily want this one to be another cancer one, when I made the cancer ribbon, and no, I don't have any idea if this color is the right one for the kind of cancer she has. It doesn't matter. It's about 8.5 inches long. I just put a glue dot here and, trimmed up the edges and stuck it behind there. I'm going to do something a little bit different. Let me see if I have if that's long enough. I might have to cut a different one. We're going to make a faux bow. They travel through the mail a little bit better. Because they're not stuck up in the air, if you will, like when you tie an actual bow. But I don't think this piece is going to be long enough. Basically, you're just doing it in 3 parts. Here we go. We'll just hold that for a second and see. Yeah, enough isn't quite sticking out for my liking, so I will use that on another one. I'm going to say we're going to need, 12 inches or thereabouts. I always cut a little bit off if I don't need that much. And when you're using ribbon and you're trying to either position it or get it to stay for at least a little while, you can use glue dots. So I want to have it a little bit angled, but not too much. So the first one needs to go here. I'm holding it with my finger. And I'm just sticking the glue dot on it, bringing it back. I don't think you can see the glue dot very well, but there you have it. Of course, I put it on the wrong side, and that's okay. Let's see, where are you, glue dot? There you are. All right, so we're going to do it a little bit angled, not a whole lot. And then we're going to do another glue dot on the inside this time. See if I can manage that one right. And they're not going to show, and they're not going to bother anything. So it doesn't really matter if you get them on, right where you want it. It's really just a way of holding the ribbon down for a second, if you will. And you can put it on like this. I want this one over a little bit, so I'm going to pull it. And that's about good. All right. So now I'm going to put 3 glue dots on the back of this ribbon in places so that it won't twist. And we'll put another one there. All right. I do want it going up and down. Again, I'm going to move this one a little bit. Pull this a little bit. There we go. I'll trim it after I get this down. Now I'm going to go ahead and use some dimensionals on here. 3 would be enough, but I'm going to put 4 so it can straddle the ribbon. Maybe, if I put it on right. Yeah. We'll take this off. Like I said, those sentiments are so good. And we just dropped in late February a bunch of online things that are great deals. And they brought back some things that had run out, and because it can't make it into the new catalog, for example, not that they're guaranteeing anything on there will be in the new catalog, but that's their way of quickly changing what you can find online. So it's in addition to the catalog. Some of it they actually do restock, and others they don't. They just till it runs out. So if you like it, get it. It's one of those. We have a store in northern Maine called Martin's, and I saw it and I liked it at Martin's. So, and if you don't get it right away, you might not find it again. So anyway, there you go. I'm going to probably put something like wishing you comfort, or I wish I could make this better. That would probably be good, because that kind of goes for any kind of illness or such. So there are some examples. This is the more simplified version. If I wanted to step this up, I could add some bling. I could make an additional layer. I could do all kinds of things to it to make it fancier, but I like them just the way they are. I hope you do too. Remember, if you want to get these once a week in notification in your email, click the subscribe button down below and the bell if you're on YouTube, or hit subscribe in my, you hit contact me, and then there's a subscribe request, and then that way you get two-step authentication, so that I don't just inadvertently add you. So it's because you want to be here. I enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.